Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
Would you like to buy a moon rock? It's only for 4K.
You talk big, but your wallet's thin. Claim you're winning while I cash it in. Your schemes are weak, your pitch is lame. I'm stacking gold, you're playing games. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheapo banners. You sell the moon, but can't pay rent. Your big ideas just came and went. I'm counting checks while you pretend. Your pyramids crumble in my climb will end. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheapo banners. You hustle air, I breathe success. Your phony tricks are such a mess. I'll toast to wins, you fake distress. Your con's exposed, no second guess. Your empire's built on plastic pride, but truth's a wave you can't outride. I'm stacking real while you divide. The house of cards where you reside. You'll beg for mercy from coast to coast, saying where's that villain we hate the most. I'm masked up and on the attack. Verbal walk-bys filled with facts. Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Maybe you intimidate your friends and kin, but when I play to win. And here we are, right at the end, with your game of cheap pretend. Nothing about your world is real. A plastic person that suits to feel.
It must be lonely to sit on a throne made of silence, built not with trust but with lawsuits and threats. Found like nails to board, shut the mouths that know you best. How sad is it to turn your name into a weapon, to aim at your own kin, your own crew, your own clients, just to keep the truth from catching daylight? But see, truth don't bruise, it burns, and maybe that's why you run from it. Why you hide behind courts, behind contracts and clauses, as if a signature can undo a sin. Because truth is kryptonite, and you ain't made of much steel to begin with.
Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers.
What's up, folks? How's it going today? Man, you know who really got people up in a tizzy yesterday? Freaking Jay. Jay has these people worked up. I mean, to the point, if you miss this, just Jay, oh my God. So he decided to talk a little bit about, the rock selling yesterday. And because of that, you ended up with 2L not just doing one stream, but they did 2 streams yesterday, flipping out about him. And I mean, it is some of the funniest crap. You have every one of them. Look, like you have for everyone from them to Cook, everybody getting in. Like even Cook is like, I tried to listen to J Hip once. He's worse than effing Tug. One sounds like Mr. Rogers, and the other sounds like a troll under a bridge. Oh my God. We're going to do something this next week, by the way, and it's going to be really funny, and it's going to make them really mad. What we're going to do is a drive for 300 more subs for Just Jay. Just Jay is 300 subs off of passing 2L, and that's going to happen this week because I wanted to. It's going to be really, really funny. In fact, I'm thinking what would be a really good idea is to have which one's which. I'm Mr. Rogers apparently because it's a beautiful day in my neighborhood, baby. You want to hear something funny? By the way, if you'd like to support the channel when I'm saying this, it'll be extra funny today. Why? Because apparently 2L threw the whole fit that they threw last night. 3 hours of throwing fits about people. Guess how many super chats they got? Yeah, I'm gonna let you guess. Let's see who can hit this. How many super chats do you think they pulled down in their 3-hour throwing a fit? They did at least it's not 0, okay? The correct answer, I see so many guesses, up to 4. Wow, somebody went all the way to 6. You felt, whoa, 10, boy, you're feeling frisky there. No, it's if you remove the 1 from the 10, you would be correct. They set out there and they set goals. So like for me, sometimes like Megan will set a goal, depending if she has something going on. I don't set goals. I'm confident when I go live, people like, if they like what we're doing, they will support it, but they set goals and it makes it really obvious. It was so bad yesterday that they even stopped and mentioned how bad it was. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. So they decided they would go after the donor again, by the way. They called him a liar, by the way. They threw Robbie in there too. Robbie apparently has been talking to 2L, and this guy that has given that guy buku money. Yeah, he's apparently calling him a liar too. So you're talking trash about him. So I maybe one day, David, you'll wake up and realize these are bad people, man. They're the thing they give you for your investment is they've treated you like trash, buddy. You got to stop giving these people money, sir. Again, I've never asked for a thing from that guy either. I'm trying. I feel bad about what happened to him. It feels awful. It feels wrong. Between that, you have Lynette flipping out yet again. She actually thinks she's on to something, which is really funny. And Bruce. Oh, Bruce. Okay. What do you want to start with? I'm gonna give you a choice. There's gonna be 1, 2, and 3. Listen to all options before you go with it. Now I'm gonna say Bruce is probably the funniest. That would be my pick. Okay, that would be 1. Bruce telling you that he's talking about a court case. He's wrong about it. It's pretty funny. That would be my pick. Okay, but we can have Bruce. We can have Lynette flipping out, will be 2, or we can have 2L flipping out, which is 3. Again, I think Bruce is probably the best, but I will leave it up to you all. So 1, 2, or 3. What do you feel like? I mean, they're all good choices. So any of them you pick, they're all good. But Bruce has been away for a while. And it kind of surprised me to see him around, honestly. Yeah, see, well, there's a lot of ones and there's some twos. I will say twos as well. That is a good choice as well. So there are a lot of ones. Well, that's what I was thinking. One is a really good choice. By the way, thank you all for being here on a Sunday. Sunday is the worst live streaming. I tell you, like I've said many times, weekends are bad for streaming. A lot of people don't live stream. They'll stream late at night one time, but most people won't stream every day on a weekend because they're not conducive to audio. But I like it. I enjoy being here with you folks, and laughing at these stupid people. So this is really good for multiple reasons. That's why I want to pull this up today. Okay, so Bruce is in 2L chat last night. He's talking about the Granger case, right? He's talking about default, and he's saying that Lynette Preston actually isn't in default. Now, I think that's funny, and I want to point out something, okay? I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to show you something, all right? So he's saying, you can see it right here. He's saying, oh, she's not in default because, okay, well, there's this weird little thing that disagrees with him. It's called a judicial order. Here is the judge saying that he granted a motion for judicial default. So she is in default. He may decide to about face and say that doesn't apply anymore, but as of this moment, she is 100% in judicial default. So that is a lie. And it amazed me to see. There's a few things about these guys, but it amazed me to see. I thought, is he really saying this isn't real? Because the order, it came down from the judge and it says, it's granted 100%. There's judicial default granted in that. Now, what he's trying to say is that since Michelle Preston filed, you remember her answers, defenses, counterclaims that she filed after the fact, after the default. Yeah, he's trying to say since she filed this, she's not actually in default. And Jeremy Hales, which he calls names, which I think this is funny. We're going to look at this, okay? But he calls him, quote unquote, fathead, right? Which I think is interesting because Bruce not only threw fits about names associated with him, but he sued Larry Foreman over that, amongst other things. But that's one of the things he sued Larry Foreman over, calling him a name. He thought it was a derogatory name. He said deuce. That means excrement. So it's terrible, but he can call somebody fathead, and that's okay. That's not lawsuit. These people are the epitome of a walking contradiction in what they say they should be awarded in a courtroom. If you think about it, all of this stuff that they fight for, if they were granted it, people would have the same thing against them, But he's trying to say that since this was filed after the fact, that let's read his post about this because I want you to see it. I thought, man, this is almost like it's like comedy in its own way. It's denying reality. It's been amazing too because their audience numbers are bad lately. They are bad. And like I said, I get you'll have a decline on weekends. Like for myself, actually right now we're pulling well over. We get near 2,000. And it's like, wow, on a weekend, especially on a Sunday in the middle of the day, man, that's freaking amazing. But their numbers have been very bad lately. And they've been obfuscating it a bit. The way that they hide it is they stream for 5 or 6 hours. They had gone to 3, but when they stream for 3 hours, you can see the numbers don't look good. You can see the fall off in the numbers. And that's because they're pulling. You got to think too. I've been watching how many people post about their stuff. And I really wonder if they have 100 people that back what they say. I wonder that sometimes because the numbers that, you know, for people that just watch and laugh at the stupid. God, I think over half of the live audience is there just to watch the shit show, you know. But even the meltdowns they're not pulling the audience they were. It's kind of amazing. I couldn't believe, by the way, they threatened to sue. So the mods, you know, with Jay, I'll talk about this in a little bit, but Jay, if they want to make him adversarial. Jay, if you listen to him, he likes these shows. He's a fan of the mod stream. He enjoys this stuff, you know. I mean, God. So he was just making a little commentary about it, and apparently they want to sue him over it. So we're going to talk about selling moon rocks today too. We'll not forget that one. But Bruce says, Levy County Court entered default versus MP 920 in the Granger case, even though she filed answers and counterclaims. She's not in default. Wait, she's not in default? How? But Fathead is. Now, he always says that Fathead is supposed to be his word for Jeremy Hales. Now, make this make sense to me, okay? Jeremy is not in the Granger case. I mean, you know that, right? So is he also calling Tree Stranger, aka Madam Mayor? Is he calling her Fathead too? Or is everyone Jeremy Hales these days? What's going on? Oh, God. It's like, what does this mean? It's like some kind of puzzle or something, you know. If I pick it up and, you know, make a copy of the screenshot and hold it up to the light just right, will I decipher this enigma? What does this mean? I mean, again, is he calling Grant? Absolutely not. You saw them. You saw the filings before. You've seen these things. So, you know, he calls Jeremy Hale. Well, he says he's attached to everything. You know, he said he was attached to the Trespass 5 originally, but now somehow he's in default. I'm confused. I really don't understand that. But he's like, no answers to the counterclaims. But over 20 days. Now, again, her filing came in after judicial default was granted. The judge has not stated anything else about how that is set aside or anything else. So this is 100% wrong. The counterclaims, by the way, are an absolute fucking joke. I don't know which way I would be more amused, to be honest. I don't want the Grangers to have to spend more money. So I'm not wishing away the judicial default, just to make that clear, okay, when I talk about this. But my God, them trying to go with Grabe and them trying to go through with those counterclaims, holy God. In a way, I would love to see that. You know, now again, I don't want them to have to pay for it and stuff. But my God, you know, all Lynette's doing is listening. You can tell who she's listening to here. And they kind of blew him off, by the way. He kept, I mean, he started also, so make this make sense. He was hashtagging, and he hashtagged Jeremy Hales is the Sloat, SLOAT. What? What does that mean? Like, I realize this is from the great names that brought you Polymop. But what the hell? I looked up any I mean, The only thing I could think that means is maybe somebody's indulging a little of the wacky weed, a little of the devil's lettuce, a little bit too much, because that makes no sense. And he said it more than one time. I thought at first, man, maybe that's a typo. No, wasn't a typo. What does that mean? Oh my Lord. Fathead is referencing, well, is it Randy? Because he calls Fathead, he calls Jeremy Hales that. So is everybody Fathead? I mean, is that like the limit of his creativity? Oh my God. I mean, I could see it, but like I said, he was legitly calling Jeremy for sure Fathead. He was for sure calling. And like I said, it's really funny that he is engaged in a lawsuit where one of the claims, again, is about somebody calling him what he says is a disparaging nickname. And yet, again, that doesn't seem like he's going for a nice nickname here, does he? He's like the clerk. They play into everything they do. Everything. Making more stress from MP, just as they intend. Now, Bruce, maybe when you, maybe you've caused more stress for MP. Maybe. Let's think about this. The two cases that you definitely had a heavy hand in bringing forward. Those two cases, they collapsed under their own weight before they went anywhere. Lynette Preston's looking down the barrel of some huge sanctions because of it. And your clown ass is still telling her, I'm sure, to do some stupid stuff. Like, I get the feeling the moves that I've seen, like putting in the protective order at the last second, that feels like you, man. That feels like you. Now, again, you can correct that if you think I'm mistaken in that, but that very much feels like a you move. And that didn't do her any favors, man. She's been getting some bad advice. So to blame it, it's just like with Belitho or anyone else. It's always, see, all these people remind me of the same type of excuses. It's always someone else, always. And it blows my mind sometimes. When the check comes due, they will all eat each other, and it will be glorious to watch. But I mean, Bruce has been publicly. I haven't seen a lot of Bruce sightings lately. So I was like, there's a Bruce sighting. That's strange. Everybody's popping out, and they kind of ignored him. I'm wondering if he's really in, I've been talking about this. If you hear clicking, by the way, somebody was asking me, if you hear this noise, what that is. I have a pocket knife that I play with sometimes. I've been, it's got one of those guide rails, where they'll flip open. And I've been loosening it up. So if you hear that, I don't even notice that I'm messing with it. I've pulled it out over here. I keep it put up where like the little one can't get to it. I have a little lock box up here, and I'll pull it out. And I was cleaning it. I've been flipping it. But somebody wrote and was like, what's that noise? So I'm like, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about messing with it. That's really funny. But yeah, I haven't seen Bruce in a while. And they didn't spotlight him either. In fact, it feels like they don't really want to give him the microphone much anymore. And Bruce, I think that's because you used to have a lot of control over everything. Again, you were their lawyer. You were the person that controlled access to Michelle Preston and John Cook. Now, John Cook is sitting around all day long talking to 2L. In fact, she admitted that so in the mod stream yesterday. She actually admits this, which is quite interesting to see. Now, I've got a screenshot of it. I don't have it pulled up in front of me here, but I do have the screenshot. I'm going to read it to you. It's on my phone. I don't feel like sending this over. But she said, quote, I told John the same thing today. He said he can't stop her, talking about Preston. You know, they're plotting. This is what amazes me. They're talking about posts and more. Well, then I guess you will keep dealing with then. She's causing it. And what they're doing in the chat, Lynette, by the way, they're all getting together and they're talking about how John should take the kid from you. Their chat is 100% talking about how he needs to leave you, that you're the monster there. They have 100%, and she's focusing over on Muppets. Muppets. Oh, she's having a meltdown today. It's so funny. She thinks she's scored something. It's so funny because these people, they have turned on her big time. Why they turned on you, by the way? You ever wonder? Maybe it's because, you know, I was watching something and I noticed, you know, they sell a lot of items, right? Or they used to try to sell quite a few things. And I saw them hawking goods. You know, let's say, you know, we heard about meteorites and stuff. Totally not a scammer. Totally not a scam. So, you know, they're out there hawking these goods. I've made me a few since rocks are such a big thing right now too. Actually, I made a few of these. You want to check them out? Let's see a few of these. There's that one. Give me a minute. Let's see. Oh, hey, kiddo. What you doing? What?
I said, look, that's a waffle.
Oh, is that a dance and waffle dance? Here, come here. Give me
That's a waffle.
Oh, come here, though. Careful. Are you gonna play your tablet? Are you having your lazy day today still?
Yeah, it's a lazy day. It's all day.
Yeah, you're gonna have your lazy day. Oh, it's the whole day lazy day?
Yeah, the whole day lazy day.
Whole day lazy day. Okay, I get it.
We have a house lazy day, a tiny lazy day.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Paisley Chicken sent you candy money. Is that cool?
Me lip gloss money and candy money.
Yeah, well, that's cool, huh? Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, what else? I'm trying to send my money on lip gloss and candy.
You will.
Because you always let me buy some money on.
Yeah, I do. I'll let you buy candy or whichever. It's your money. I'll let you buy them. That's right.
And your money, you let me buy.
Yeah, that's right. I'll let you buy some with my money too.
I get a lot. Candy and muffins, well.
Okay. Well, hey, go play your tablet for a bit, or you can watch whatever on the bigger TV up there if you want to. It's a lazy day today. Hey, Sissy's supposed to watch that movie with you. You tell her.
I watched it.
There's no way y'all watched that whole movie.
Yes, I did.
You did not watch that whole K-pop, did you know?
Who's it for the part that who did like?
Oh, so you sat through part of it. Hey, Dwayne Rapp sent you $5. Can you say thank you to Dwayne? He is such a nut. We went out trampoline jumping. What all did we do this morning? What was it?
Candy bracelets that Halloween.
Oh yeah, thank you for the candy bracelets too. Yeah,
and the Halloween version.
Yeah, there was candy bracelets and necklaces. Those are cool, weren't they?
Yeah, but you couldn't let me wear one because you would.
Well, we weren't going to wear it out while we were out.
Yeah, because when we got home, you didn't even tell me that.
I forgot to get them out. We'll have to get them out after the live stream.
We can open
it. We can after the live stream. We will. Okay. We'll open them up. I totally forgot about the bracelet ones. We got the necklaces out before, but
the Halloween ones.
Yeah.
The Halloween ones.
Oh, your Halloween bag. You want to say thank you for those too?
Thank you for the Halloween bag.
Yeah,
I loved it so much.
She did. She really loved that bag.
Hey, look,
you carried it everywhere.
Look, ice cream.
Oh, an ice cream cone. Can you say thank you to Fallen Hero? She's trying to not fall down. Yeah, there. I don't know if you can hear her from there. She's way off. Hey, they probably. Yeah, there you go. I was about to say they might not be able to hear you otherwise. What did we do today? We went trampoline jumping and we played some soccer outside.
Actually, we did play soccer. I love soccer, and we could go to trampoline tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how the weather is. All right, but hey, go upstairs. Maybe you go upstairs and you have your lazy day, okay? Unless y'all want to do some, unless y'all want to do some cleaning today, you can't clean. No, okay. Well, go have your lazy day. Love you. Oh yeah, and sissies. You can tell her it's hers too. Close the door for me, okay? All right, love you. That's so funny. All right, check these out. Look, I made a few more of these rock ones. Check it out there. Oh, 1 second. All right, check it out there. Now, again, you can tell that this is definitely spelling from AI. So when they get stuff wrong, like actual, look, I like this, how it's, it's like, it's totally not fraud. See, it's actual Magoon dust. Look at that. The people around are like, oh my God. NASA certified. You got a squirrel with a little helmet on. Oh my God, I love that one. I thought that one was pretty funny. Let's see. We also have the 7 wonders of the world, real fragments of the wonders, one day only. You want some pyramid fragments, Great Wall bricks, Colosseum tiles, Taj Mahal chip, a certificate of authenticity from some random dude, guaranteed to be a wonder, 100% authentic, probably. And look, here's me chipping away at the pyramid itself, just to say. I mean, look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's right. I love it there. Vivian, thank you. Yeah, love the way you interact with Bob. Great father. Well, thank you. I try. Again, I try to look at it this way. My go-to, like if there's, that's what bothers me with certain things we talk about with certain people, because my end is elevated voice, that's I don't really I don't really like spankings, or I think I can get the point across without that. So my baseline is not raising a voice, and I hear some people with the baseline. Well, I hear a certain person with that as their baseline. And again, don't contact anyone whatsoever that we talk about today or ever. And no government entity, services, etc. None of that. Thank you. But yes, that does bother me because, all our kids want is attention and love. That's what they want. They love attention, and they love knowing that they're loved. And it's not very hard to give them either. But yeah, check that out though. I got a live demo of me totally not with a blue screen, getting an authentic chip of the pyramid. Isn't that amazing? Man, check this out too. Look, I even went, there's rocks from Mars. Look at that too. I like the guy is embarrassed down here in the corner. You get interplanetary shipping. Look, we got the Mars rover. Oh my God. I put all that in there though, because Jay decided that he would just, he was talking about their rock grift, them selling rocks. And he took some screenshots, which is 100% allowed. It is definitely, it's that thing that they like to put up their warning about at the very beginning of their streams. Yeah, you're allowed to talk about that stuff, but they seem confused over that subject. But he was talking about it, and it was pretty funny. And they got so upset about it that they streamed twice about him. They threatened him with litigation. They talked about striking his channel and all this other crazy shit. And I was like, really? I mean, and they said they would sue him for tortious interference. Now, I thought that was really funny. I thought, so the clowns that call businesses and interfere with them. That's what tortious interference is, by the way. They don't even seem to understand what that means. Going and laughing at idiots when they try to sell something, acting like total ass clowns. That is not tortious interference, by the way. But sales must be really bad. In fact, they tried to loop this into, they did like was supposed to be a short stream. And it ended up being like 3 hours long. And they kept trying to sell this random crap. And I noticed this weird thing. You know, I clicked over, if you don't, because I kept thinking, that thing's still on, right? So when I click over, you know, I'd see what's going on. And I noticed they kept trying to sell things. And when they would, many of them, nobody would buy them. So the mods would end up owning them. I thought, man, that's awful. You know, it reminds me of some of these grifts you see from like in watches and other stuff where people they keep switching out inventory, except those mods. I mean, in order to get on the show, I guess they got to keep writing that check. And that's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. But yes, if you totally like to buy a moon rock, oh my gosh. They were very mad. They were mad. They were mad about Rosalind. They threw a fit about Rogue Mama. She came up in the last night stream. Jay, I mean, they were just collectively lost their minds about all these folks, and it cracked me up so much. So let's look at what Lynette had to say for her stuff, and then we'll go that way. So Lynette, she started this the other day, all right? And it's funny because she just added to this, okay? She started out, she thinks she's on to something, which cracks me up. You know, she's complaining about quote-unquote Muppets. So she's trying to aim. She thinks that she's aiming at Hales and other folks, you know? She thinks that those folks are the ones trying to bother her. And meanwhile, her own pals that, again, they went and, of all the things, I was thinking about this too yesterday, of all the things that 2L coughs up on a stream, the one thing she won't cough up is that 6 figures. She'll cough up chicken skin and fucking phlegm, probably her little cricket co-host where he accidentally gets inhaled, any of that stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But coughing up 6 figures, ain't no way in hell she's going to do that for you, Lynette. Oh my God. But she was, so there's more of this, like I said, she's added to it. So she started out with you hide behind fake profiles, Muppets. You say the most hurtful and mean things. You lie and spread gossip and misinformation to hurt others. And you say, I'm the bad guy. Okay. Okay. And it keeps going. And then she added again today, and then she's going to have the new one. She said, the sad part is I know you see the real truth, because how could you not? Oh, yeah, 100%. I cover it all the time. All the time, lady. You know, and it's funny. The things that I would think you'd care about, like 6 figures, you know, the biggest grift you've ever hit. No, you don't want to follow up on that. Instead, you got morons telling you apparently that you're not currently in default. Remember, bankruptcy saves all. Remember, you can't get there's no way that you could get sanctioned for the thumbnail case. They would be in the federal case with you forever. All of those things. You should go in and see how many of those predictions came true. And then maybe step back and reassess, but I digress. Yeah. But wait, some of you could be that ignorant, but the rest of you have to see the lies and the fact that this is money-making scheme. By the way, here's yet another person, and she's going to complain about money yet again. So again, as I will say, I feel there's this obligatory response through this. Oh, by the way, too. So I heard tell that there will be some really funny stuff for Whatnot tonight. Just note, Hale's is tonight will be entertaining, but I think there's going to be some funny stuff. If what I heard is correct, oh my God. You may be very well. I mean, I feel like we are always entertained, but there may be some really good stuff. Oh, I can't wait to see what's going to come down the pipe. But anytime they bring up money making schemes, I feel this obligatory thing to say, if you like this content, think about breadsticks, especially since, again, like I said, it was so funny. You got her complaining because she's hoping she can get a sucker to pay that $5,000 for that RV. She's hoping she can get somebody else to cough it up. Besides, again, the person that'll cough up anything else. But you got 2L over there complaining about super. To the point again, she's just bluntly is like, where's the super chats? Because nothing's coming out. That was amazing. And I love, they talk about watching us. And it makes them so mad. The success, it doesn't matter your type of success. It doesn't matter if it's viewership or outdoing them, and people actually liking your content and backing it. Those things seem to make them crazy. So I kind of love it. That's why I always hype when that comes up, because I know it makes them butthurt to know about. But this is a money-making scheme done by a person whose own child has this is funny too, from Lynette. So here's the aim, by the way, at personalizing, going after Jeremy Hales and going after his kids. Okay. But remember, that's all off the table. Okay. So, it's terrible and wrong for anyone to ever talk about the conditions she's in, or to talk about, any of the by the way, too, Rosalind did a amazing video. I really feel like I need to shout this out. Rosalind did an amazing video talking about family. And Lynette said, her family would, they would be on her side and set the record straight. Well, I saw some of what her family said, and yeah, they set the record straight. I don't think that's what you wanted. But anyway, Rosalind did a great video on that. So props to her, man. God. Next week, I think what I'm going to do is every week, people seem to enjoy the shizzy pump in. So I'm thinking about next week, or this week rather, I'm thinking about having Just Jay. I'm thinking about having him on, we'll see, Friday maybe, That way we can push him over beyond 2L's viewership numbers. And there are other people, like I said, Rosalind, Coop, Georgie, all these people I think would be fun to have on. So I'm thinking about just putting out a day per week, or at least one every other week, at least, that way just talk to people and laugh at the stupid, grow them beyond the 2L scope too, which I think is funny. But she says, it's done by a person whose own child has the most horrific stories about them, that it makes the lies about me look like dust particles in the wind. It's a horrible shame what is happening to our world. And it's a shame the evil out there is so thick. I don't know if it will ever right itself, but I can only pray my heart out it will. Oh man, that's so good. And then she thinks she's on to something. Look, she's like, I wonder why this post hasn't already been shared on all the hate groups. Now, you know what this tells me? Lynette Preston is in every group. She's watching every stream. She's totally consumed. Isn't that right, Lynette? I know 100% that Lynette is watching this show, because she was commenting to things that were being stated live. When we were talking about the 2L money and more, she was out there making sure that she stated certain things. We know Cook, he's definitely watching too, because he gets butthurt a lot. Apparently Paint Chips has been as well, because he was whining about myself and Shizzy from the other night. He was like, "Oh, they're not the heavy hitters." It was like, you little softy. Pillsbury, bro. Pillsbury's making their worst. Oh my God. He reminds me of like, I went to the Russell Stover store one day. There's a point to this, okay? I went to the Russell Stover store one day, and out of everything they sell, I forget what they call them, but when candy ends up getting all jacked up and comes out wrong, you know, they sell it in a big bag of, I think they call them blurps or something like that. And that's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a blurp, you know. It's just, it's just a bag of mush, you know. Nothing worth picking up inside. Actually, the blurps might be better to pick up. You see what I mean there. Oh, we may get some notifications through here, by the way. Oh, yes. By the way, too, if you want to follow me on this wonderful platform here of ye old Facebook, I am on it. I'm terrible about checking messages there. I will warn you there. But if you want to follow me there, it is Tad, T-A-D, Guy, G-Y. You know, so 2 names. Tad Guy. You'll recognize me by, it'll have one of my umbrella stuff. So, but she's like, why isn't this everywhere on the hate groups? Maybe because you know I'm telling the truth. We were targeted for an A&E TV special program that never got to A&E. So he decided to make his own internet show that he makes thousands from using people he never thought would or could fight back. And by the way, it's always elderly and disabled people that are used. And after using the town mayor and clerk and the town folk and his old landlord and his own family, we became the stars. Oh, you're stars. Did you see that look? Oh, hey, Kathy. Glad to have your friendship there. Yes, I will approve that. I approve everyone, by the way. Somebody asked me the other day, they noticed a name in there and they're like, I think that's an ecosystem person. I was like, I don't look. I don't care. I approve everyone. I don't care. You know, if they want to come in and they want to see proof of the horrible shit that these people do, the stuff they, you know, like the guy who did the interview, you know, that totally is supposed to be a serious commentator and a journo, right? That guy. Hey, by the way, I saw that. Props to you. But yeah, he sent out a link to a video to me today, and probably other people, accusing, again, it's from his pal Paint Chips, saying, oh, look at Hales, he's and you know, he calls him some of the things. What's up, Diana? He calls him some of the things that, well, he called him in a court filing, let's say. Angela, what's up? I shout out all of you, but there'll probably be a bunch of them come in. Michelle, what's up? Again, if you see yourself up there, appreciate you. No messages will come up, by the way. I don't even have the messenger installed up here. You know, it has to be on my phone or I won't see it. So, but I did have the notifications back on for I think I was watching to see what happened with something. But anyway, it's like, you all know it's true. If you would stop watching and stop funding it, it would go away. Oh, dude, I'm not stopping watching this at all. This shit show that you people are in, I'm going to watch. You're at this point right now where, of course, you want us not to watch. You enjoyed it when you thought you were winning. But at the point now when you're looking at, again, consequences in courts, and you're going to have this moment, there's going to be this epiphany, you know, it's going to come in, and it's going to dawn on you that bankruptcy is not going to write off everything, that you've been on a hook for multiple things. And in fact, you're going to look around and think, oh my God, I've been left holding the bag. And when that day comes, you're going to remember that certain people, they gave you good advice all this time. You don't like me, like I said, I'll laugh at you all. Yeah, for sure. I laugh at all the stupid shit you do. But you know what? I think we gave you very sound advice there. We also even offer to help you retrieve your money. And one day you'll sit there in your shed and you'll think, man, I wish I may and I wish I might, but somehow Hales is to blame tonight. And you probably won't learn anything, but you'll regret. And I'll be there to laugh at it. So I'm never going to stop watching. No way. But you get such a rush off of seeing others suffer. I get a rush out of watching your 3 or 4 brain cells ram into one another and try to like cohesively tell a tale that doesn't contradict the last tale you told. I mean, it's amazing. It's watching a little child fall apart from being in the center of all of this, only after other children already came out saying they wanted to themselves because of the accosting, I'm going to say, they endured at the hands of this person. God, she is really, oh Lord, wait until this ends up as part of a protective. I keep thinking, man, you know, Lynette, that stuff has not been decided yet. It's just so crazy. She brings up kids. Remember, she has never weaponized children, though. She has never put up signs, though, right? She's never made those kind of claims. Here she is making claims. This stuff will work in a courtroom. Yes, it's their own child. Said he wanted to, because of the accosting on them as a child was so horrible and horrendous. Wait, you all said the child was a liar. And the parent was a saint. You said the child was a mess mentally. Because the parent, see, this is mean right here. You could tell again. I'm trying to be as nice as I can because I'm not aiming at the kid. These kind of situations mess you up. Divorce is ugly, you know. It's ugly. And unfortunately, kids are a reflection of those situations. The ugly gets in you and it can mess people up. And it's sad. It is. But these people, when they went through and they read those headlines where they don't even have the filings, they will have like an item that doesn't even bring up like what has happened with specific things. They don't even know. They speculate and oh my God. But open your eyes. Some of you out there are older and not far from meeting our maker. And I want to know what your excuse will be to him. So look, she brings up you going, you meeting your end yet again. It's crazy. Was it entertaining? Yeah. It's been very entertaining watching you nutbag. Is it funny? Yeah, you're pretty stupid. I enjoy laughing at you. It was because you chose to look the other way. Actually, I didn't. You know what? I brought up the fact that you talked about to Shara about your own child, the child living in your care. I've mentioned the red flags repeatedly, but somehow you say those don't matter anymore and somehow deflect away from all that. Actually, I've cared quite a bit, but you have to see the constant mirroring, the consistent lies that someone is going to jail, but no one does. John Cook went to jail. If Levy County, actually, if the people in Levy County were corrupt assholes that had some stones to stand behind it, oh yeah, you keep pushing, Lynette. It's like you guys want to go to jail. That's the thing. But yeah, we have seen someone go. They did go to jail for how many days? Kind of strange. And again, they said they wouldn't. What did they say about going forward? They said, they wouldn't go forward because they were afraid that stand your ground would be the way. That he tried to defend himself, which is crazy too, you know. But anyway, no one does the constant lies that they happened to them. Wait. That what? The consistent lies that someone is going to jail, but no one does. The constant lies that they say happen to them over and over. But yet when you look carefully, you see that the things that they say are happening to them are really the things that they're doing to others for their show. She's crashing out, dude. Then it gets really good at the end here. You know, kids see that. You choose to ignore it, but it's all true. It's called a money train. Yeah, like I said, money train. If you'd like to get on this money train, you know, we have a few slots on there. If you'd like to be a passenger on this money train, oh my God, let me see. I need to make a Chat GPT. I need it to make me some tickets for the money train. Here we go. Can you make me a picture of a ticket for a train, a money train? People buy tickets on it. We'll call it the Umbrella Express. All aboard. Okay, let's see what it makes me. I need to get some tickets ready for you people. The money train. Oh my God. Oh Lord, peculiar optics since the back. So they were whining about that too. Oh, I forgot that. I'm glad you said this. So apparently, laughing at their songs, they've talked about suing over that too. Now they're talking about suing people. Now I guess they realize that I laugh at them so much that they don't want to say that they're threatening to sue me over their cult songs. But that's what it is. They did say straight up Megan for clips, and they were talking about her cult songs. But they are so mad about us laughing at those that they had a fit about those too. And I think that is hilarious. They play these songs. They put them out publicly. You know, expressing like Lisa Lee, our protector, and oh my God, they put in things about they mess up unicorn jazz, and they put in other weird stuff. They admit they had no idea what they were doing. They screwed up portions of it, and then they've tried to deflect. They've tried to lie and say they did things purposefully. Now they're talking about suing. Oh my God, that'd be the greatest lawsuit ever. Please, God, sue me over that. Sue me over the unicorn jizz song. Please do that. That will be amazing. My channel will freaking blow the hell up. It'll be like millions. Isn't that the guy that got sued over cult songs and unicorn what now? And the back what's? Oh, this would be so good. Oh Lord. But it's called a money train. And you all jumped onto it and used us and a child to get thousands from. I hope it was worth it to you. Lady, I listened to you yelling at a guy sitting on property live streaming under a fence that people bought for you, trying to instigate, hoping you would get some, and then lying and saying that you weren't doing that. But you could hear it and you could see the gaps under the fences. I mean, my God. And she talks about people monetizing. Hell yeah, I monetize these people. Hell yeah. But you know what? What really blows my mind, they complain. I'm reading her own words. I go through her own filings. But that's somehow a problem. You ever think about how insane that sounds? You know, when they complain about it. So, I mean, she's having a meltdown over there again today. She thinks she's kind of on to something. You know, people, they weren't, I agree with what you say. Also, they've gotten really conspiratorial lately. So Marla put up the funniest thing I've ever seen. Well, maybe not the ever seen, but it was pretty good. Let's see. There it is. So Marla puts up yesterday when they're talking, let's listen to this. This is her new idea of what's happening with yes, it's right, Kitty Ninja. I have always monetized stupid. That has always been my purview, no matter what. When I started this, when I first started a channel, you know, and actually was running a channel, I talked about comic industry. It's the first thing that got me interested enough to pick up a microphone and speak. And I talked about problems in it, and I would talk about the so-called professionals and the stuff they would do, and I would monetize their stupid. And I always did that, and I just got better at it over time. You know, finding stupid that amused us all. But yeah, I've always monetized stupid. That is fun, you know. But look at this conspiracy. So when they, again, talking about Jeremy, George, they bought to Otter. They bought to Otter Creek property. Their plans. That sounds terrible. Their plans were not for privacy. So Jeremy's plans weren't for privacy. I wonder what they were, huh? They wanted to create a tube town to set up for multiple tubers to film and stay there. Take over Otter Creek government too. So his plan was to take over Otter Creek, to take over the government in Otter Creek. These people are so crazy. He's trying to take over the planet little by little. That damn Hales. Oh my God. That is really, you've got to admit, that is pretty funny. Oh, they are so terrified of him and any of his plans. They're like, he's taking over the world. You know what's weird too? I noticed this yesterday. Lynette, you do know that they are still they are still money making off of HG Christmas. Like, that's what it's called. They're stream elements. You know, the thing that pulls up all your. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I might have a screenshot of it. I don't know. I don't remember if I screenshot this or not. I have one, but I have a screenshot of it, but I don't know if I pulled it for today. But with their stream elements portion, every day. Now, we're rolling up on 10 months. By the way, I found out something, and thank you to a certain person out there for clarifying this. So yesterday I was talking about the big donor, and I was talking about a date that was missing out of the breakdown, right? You know, they have a specific date that doesn't have anything attached to it. That date was a date they apparently don't want to admit exists. That was a date that around, it looks like $2,500 came in. Oh, here it is. So check that out. So the stream elements are still pushing Harley Jolly Christmas, by the way. Still, they're still collecting money for that thing, even though everything is falling apart. Now, they keep saying it's for a different kid, but they're promoting it off of this kid's name that they've been asking not to do that with. Isn't that weird? But anyway, so that David the Donor Day that doesn't show up in the breakdown, that's like a $2,500 day. That's another $2,500. And actually, with that day missing from his numbers, so this is interesting. They kept saying over and over again that his numbers didn't account to $56,000. The numbers he put up online were only $54,000. Well, he left out $2,500, it looks like, out of his calculations. They showed a receipt on one of their items. You know, they wanted to compare and contrast, but it didn't have, let me see. I was talking about this yesterday. So you'll see, like, again, this is set up for the UK standard, you know, month. This is odd. It takes me a minute to look at it this way because this doesn't look right to me. You know, I'm just so accustomed to it. Again, everybody does their thing differently. I get that. It just takes a minute. But you can see, like, October the 15th, it's missing. So you have the 20th here, right here, and you have September the 27th here, but you're missing a day right here that's accounted for here. Now, this apparently is a $2,500 day. Okay. Now, the numbers that David pulled up were $54,000, and he kept saying $56,000, and they were trying to create that like a gotcha, right? Because he didn't have 56, it was 54. Well, it turns out that out of those calculations, he left out $2,500 at least. So $56,000 would be the correct number. Ta-ding, cha-ching, whoopsie daisy. So that was correct, but they want to pretend that that wasn't right. I like that. So somebody actually pulled the stream for it and everything for me, which was nice. And yeah, it talks about the donation and everything. So the amount is there. It was 100% talked about. Oh God, let's pull up another dumb one too. I want to pull up one more dumb thing, and then I want to look at some transcript stuff. Okay, so one more idiot screenshot. Let me see. I don't know if the screenshot thing is lagging out, so I'm going to see if it'll grab it, and if not, I'm going to just read it for you. So you remember the? I know today we talked about I was going to pull the paint chip spot. Man, I have to be in the mood for that. God, paint chips filing is such a it's such a mess, you know. It's really hard to read. It's really hard to go through because it's just not. He's boring. He reminds me of like a middle school edgelord, you know. He thinks he's really shocking people or something. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're just like, yeah, that isn't that interesting. So. It takes me a minute to want to read, but I do want to read that to you all. I've got to be mentally there. I haven't gotten there yet. Yeah. So on that though, the reason I mention it is because Volpe, he said this. All right, this blows my mind. This tells you how stupid he is. Okay, I'm going to read it because it doesn't want to lock into this, but I want you to hear this. Okay, he says, since Bolitho called him a non-party and struck the motion as improper, by that logic, he's dismissed from the case. As he's one served, that part of the case should be over. That assumes we have a logical judge. I thought, the guy who filed that was supposed to be Paint Chips' father, not Paint Chips. So apparently they think that since Paint Chips' daddy filing got struck, that somehow that should indicate that Paint Chips is no longer part of it. I don't even understand the quote unquote logic to this statement. Striking a filing doesn't mean that you're off the hook. He talked about the obscene filing that was put in. It was supposed to be, again, from Paint Chips' dad, who is a non-party. But apparently, the same guy who can't understand how the Violence Against Women Act applies to men with protective orders also doesn't understand that the non-party thing is, it's not addressing. Oh my God, check this out. By the way, look at that. There's you. Look at that ticket, man. We're getting on the money train, baby. That's right. I'm going to animate this, I think. What do you think? I'm going to animate the little train on that, so it'll be moving. But there's your ticket to admitting one to the Umbrella Express. I'll probably play with it. I'll name it something funnier, you know. I think we could have a lot of fun with that one. Get on this money train, baby. T-shirt. There you go. You sell them like a Jeremy. Yeah. It'd be funny to make little tickets. I'd like to be able to, I don't know, make little tickets with it just to have fun. I might see about doing that. I need to I need to get the names exactly right on how I want to do it, but I think that looks good. I might make some of those just for fun, you know. But yes, if you'd like to be on this money train again, you see how butthurt these people get. I really thought what would be really funny is if you took around the outside, if you put quotes from these people, you know, you like put them on the outside here, and then you have the train riding through. That would be so good. Oh my God. That'd be awesome. Like it's just funny. Like these people, they get so butthurt about it. Being a member, well, thank you, Becky. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate all of you being. Again, over 2,000 of you showing up on today. That's awesome. Let me pull some transcript today. All right. They have stated some really dumb things. They do it a lot, of course, you know, when they talk about stuff. But actually, give me 1 second. Let me run this thing through, and I'll have it where it pulls up as a better file type. Give me 1 second. You know, 1 second on here. They went after Jay last night, and this thing we're going to look at. But they also, again, they went after the thing that blows my mind is how they go after the donor. Again, that guy. I mean, according to 2L, Robbie's involved in it. Robbie just got all this money from the dude. Like it smacks of freaking it feels abusive is what it feels like. But they said something on this. I'm rolling down to where I want to be with it. But they said something in there trying to excuse items, you know. And here, check this out. This they contradicted themselves, first of all, with certain things. They noted, now I'll go back and note some other things with that too. But sell tickets as a fundraiser, donated to a real turtle rescue. Oh, that'd be something. Actually, why are you guys obsessed with the sanctions? LOL, the people we think are a bunch of criminal deadbeats who don't pay their bills now owe more money. Indeed. That's a good super chat. I like it. I'll hit everybody too. And thank you all again. But they said this. So they noted, they're talking about 2L and the money thing. They were like, what are you saying? The 56,000. He needed to start. They're talking about not being enough money for everything and what happened with it. So they get to this point and they start saying this. I try to explain to him, do you understand? As soon as you send it to Lisa, part of the money has gone to PayPal, automatically gone. Lisa has to calculate what she's going to pay in taxes. Now, they said they didn't pay taxes on that money. They said they did not do it. They said it was his responsibility to pay taxes. They said that publicly. And they said it more than once. So this is a flagrant lie. There was no calculation of taxes. That right there, again, they 100% said they didn't pay taxes on it. They didn't calculate that in because they said it was his responsibility, which it's not, by the way. That's not how that works. But on top of it, they keep going over PayPal costs. And again, as I've said, I've been looking into this extensively because that lie really bothers me too. When money is sent, the money that's paid in, if the person decides to send 20K and they let they may let it come out of their side and you may get a lesser amount. Sure. That's not you actually paying a penalty. That's them. But they may make up for it. But what they talked about in penalties, the way, in fees, the way that they talked about it, one of the fees, it seems like they keep adding, and I'm sure of this, is taking, so anytime I transfer money from PayPal or Venmo or any other place, I get two options. I get an option to do it within 3 to 5 days. I transfer it now and it'll show up within 3 to 5 days. Or I can have it show up instantly. Now, when I have it show up instantly, I pay a fee. Now, there's no reason to instantly make that money pop up unless they're making sure there's no way he could try to get it back. You know, they could unhook their bank account from it after the money goes in. They could reapply it after the moment. But unless you're afraid that that money, it might get charged back, there would be no reason to pay any fee whatsoever, because you could have it transferred over to your bank account for free. You don't pay anything for that. So this idea, though, where they keep talking about fees, is a bunch of bullshit, man. It's amazing to me. Like, they pretend that all this money, again, it's just another way for them not to come up with money. But they went after him a lot. They brought him up. They called him a liar about. So when they were going in, there was a Guapo. So apparently Guapo has been part of going after him now, I suppose, because she said, now, again, these are not my words, just to make this clear. You know, this is another guy he gave a bunch of money to. So he said, they also said that he funded Guapo's European vacation that he took. Well, we knew what was going to happen because they've been talking about that for a while. He's going to send Guapo money to go to Spain, wanted for other people. I don't know. Well, anyway, so they say, well, I do know he wanted Guapo to send Guapo's mother on a trip, I believe it was. Yeah, that wasn't that hasn't happened. But I do think, actually, I'm not going to say that, because if Guapo wants to say something, he say even the that usually takes out stuttering more, but it confuses it. It's like he did not meet up with only me while he's there, huh? Everyone said he did. No, he didn't. I know, but everyone says that he did. All those other channels. Well, of course. Well, you know, only me. So they start going through here, and what they're saying is that only me, he was supposed to meet up with Guapo, and he didn't show. And he's been saying that he did show, and he's a liar. They're calling him a liar yet again. Now, the only person they could be getting this info from is the dude he gave all this money to go fucking abroad. These are people that all they're interested in is wallet checking this dude. And dude needs to wake the fuck up and stop giving them money. I don't care if he's the worst fucking person in the world to deal with. They love him when his wallet is open, but they talk about him like shit, and you can see it. All of them are doing it. You know, and if they want to come back and say, well, Guapo isn't actually saying that. He's giving 2L fuel for the flamethrower she's trying to take to this dude's reputation. And the whole point in here is he pays for all this shit. He pays for giveaways. He pays for trips. He pays for backing for these folks. Oh, and they treat him like garbage for it. I mean, my God, man. They spawn this out of the whole... Look at the size of... Now, all the stuff in between, you know, when you see the highlighter, let me make sure I started the right place. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn the thing off for a minute, because I don't want you to have to watch me scroll, but I'll pull it back up here, okay? Okay, so when they're talking, now I want you to see how much area is reserved for going after this guy, okay? And again, this is the entire ecosystem. They throw in with this. They fuel it. They make sure they can attack this dude's reputation and his word for doing things. And again, I hear, People talk about like he's disruptive. He tries to take over. Whatever, dude. They allow him to do that. They took $50 fucking thousand. Like 2L said that there were when she was trying to throw shade and trying to also deflect. She said about that money that was sent to her. He said, well, there are at least 2 other channels that got that or more. At least. And then later on, there was another statement by someone else that said there were 3. And again, I wonder, again, this is speculation, but I wonder if that 3 is Guapo, Robbie, and Stupid Dave. Now, even if there's only 2 and there's that amount of money, we are talking about $150,000 that was sent amongst, because again, we know $56,000 to Lynette Preston. If it's that much or more, if we just call it $50K 3 times, it's $150,000. If you're talking about 3 of them plus Lynette Preston, that's $200,000 plus sent to these fucking people that they don't talk about this guy like he's a friend. They don't talk about this guy like he matters. Again, you know, if anytime something comes up, you can tell that the deflection point, it's automatically this dude is it's either if they're wanting to play neutral, they're like, oh, that's just chat drama. Like, dude is now again talking about how he's been ripped off yet again. Now, that's his fault, by the way, because he keeps going back to these people. Stop it, dude. You need to stop. But, God, look at all this live stream they spend dumping on you. Look at this, man. Look at this. Now, some of this is gapped out because I didn't want to highlight every portion of it. I haven't gone through it all yet. But look at this. I mean, you see all that? That's just about you, dude. That's about you, David the Donor. All this is dumping on you. Talking about how you're a liar, how you lie about stuff, how again, like they're talking about your, how you're talking about your rip off with Robbie. They're calling you a liar. Oh, look, you're 100%. Oh, that's a lie. The stuff you're saying is a lie. Now, again, if you haven't kept up with what's going on with that, whew, man. That's why I made the meteorite, because according to them, he was sold a rock for thousands of bucks, and it was not anywhere worth that. According to the guy who bought it, and they're like, oh, he could have mailed them and stuff. He just goes on other channels to start shit. He funds that money. In fact, they fuel these weird conspiracies. Their chat gets on this where they start talking about somehow this is Jeremy Hale's doing it. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. You think Jeremy Hales would give Robbie tens of thousands of dollars and Lynette Preston tens of thousands of you really think that? I mean, you think that this guy somehow is connected to them because he doesn't walk the line with these weirdos? It's so bizarre. And again, they're like, well, this guy, he's a troublemaker. And okay, well, that's fine. And if you block him for that's great. But the thing that he's yelling about is being ripped off. And they spend a lot of time dumping on him. They can talk about, again, they go over the Guapo stuff, which you can see all through this, saying that he's a liar. And I mean, that he's so horrible and this and that. But some of this is so bizarre. It's also, it goes in, they start going into the banner thing again. They love going into the banner thing. and they love blaming the banners on only me. They avoid the stain and talking about that and how that money just went away. But it's so, like I said, all of this area is dedicated to that guy. And he's only one of the people, one of them. Look, I mean, he likes to stir shit. He likes stirring up chaos and getting people's minds going. But you have to understand something. We're all in a position like I receive funds for the projects, right? Robbie received funds for giveaways and stuff that he used for the farm. But you know, you have to remember too, he only we got products for that, whether he chose to give it away or not. It's wait, what? What? Wait, what? That's weird. I need to re-listen to that because that sounds like only me gave them bought products and they didn't give them away. That's what that sounds like. That sounds bad. I need to listen to how that sounds because again, I didn't mark this portion. You can see where I was focusing my time. I need to go back and listen to this sentence right here. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to mark this on the master sheet so I can go back in and listen to it. Because that sounds like something, that sounds like another piece of drama that I've not heard, you know, and this is their words, you know, so I want to re-listen to that. I'm marking it real fast on my master sheet here. All right. But like, you know, what, he still bought products. He sends them to crying, like the buyer's remorse thing, right? So they're saying that the reason he's mad here, it's actually buyer's remorse. Only me is upset because he spent. Now he strikes me as many things, but he doesn't seem like somebody that really sweats a few K. You know, if a guy can drop $56,000 just on some project shit, and he was going to drop a lot more too. I firmly believe he was going to do that. I don't get that he sweats buying a rock online. What I would say is if he felt ripped off, if he was told something is worth X amount and it's not worth that, he might find that, because that's an insult, especially when you think about this. Like if you had given somebody tens of thousands of dollars and then to help them out, you buy an item from them and you find out that that person, they didn't do you right with that. That's more than just feeling defrauded by a product. That's a personal slight or an insult. And that's what this sounds like to me. They're like, well, unfortunately, though, he lies about it because he says he bought something for $4,000 from Robbie. I have documented proof. He did not. It was not $4,000. Well, first of all, I don't believe he said $4,000. I believe that's their number. I've not seen a screenshot indicating he said that. And there have been others that came up with a different number, you know, more like $2,000. Still, we are talking about thousands of dollars. Their number, though, 2L in the gang created this number. See, this is what they do. This is blatant gaslighting, by the way. They'll come up with a number without a receipt. They'll just tell people that this guy is saying he spent X amount, and it will become reality because that is how these people operate. It's actually the same thing. It's curious because you saw the same things happen with Jamie Starr Johnson, you know, with Lynette Preston. She called Jamie Starr Johnson specific labels, and people just rolled with that, including myself, you know. And, you know, Shara was like, well, maybe we should rethink those. I was like, yeah, well, you know, those labels did come from Michelle Preston. So maybe I don't know what I would believe in that, but I definitely don't find Lynette Preston to be the best source of information, right? Well, the same thing with this. They create a number. Then they say the number's not true. Well, as far as I'm aware, I've not seen a screenshot that, again, if there's one out there, I would love to have it. But when people talked about it, they noted the number 2. 2,000. So I think, like I said, it feels like its own personal gaslighting. It takes, you create the narrative, then you say the narrative, you create the narrative, you attribute it to another person, then you say that narrative was a lie. You know, you've in effect hurt that person's reputation with something they never even said. Okay. But he's gone into Robbie's chat and lied about it blatantly, saying I paid $4,000 for this. Okay, if he did too, I'd love to see that. I'd like a screenshot. But I'm the one that no, you didn't. No, you didn't spend. It's not in the books. It's being charged. I can watch the video where you bought it, and it wasn't that much. You know, maybe 4,000 for all the giveaways, but not a one drop. Now I do know that he dropped thousands of dollars. He bought every giveaway in one stream for sure. He definitely did. We saw that happen because it's like, why the hell would you do this for that person there? The way they reacted is just, ugh, you know. But they were supposed to spend all the money that he ended up giving for every item that the guy was selling. It was supposed to be for a lawyer, right? So he ended up buying them all in one stream. And when he bought every item in there are all these people that are complaining about the things that get sent, by the way. I've had people hitting me up about that. I've told people too, if they've bought an item and these folks, they send them some Temu item, like send it to me. I will love it. I'll take their so-called gemstone, their so-called mind it themselves, and I will clarify once and for all whether that shit came from Temu or whether that shit came out of the ground for real. And I can find out how much money it's worth as well. What I'll do is I'll go down to one of the universities around here. I'll go down to either, depending on who's in. I mean, NTSU is close here. NTSU, it's a good university. TTU, right there. I can definitely get some people to check that out. Just look at it and see what it's made out of. And if I want to really do more sampling on it, I'll take it down to UT or Vandy or some other place and ask them, you know, if they can do that for me. And you damn well better believe they will. Like universities, you can find students that'll, you know, help you out with that. And, yeah, you know, drop them a few bucks, of course, because you appreciate it. But I could clarify that once and for all. So, in fact, somebody's supposed to be sending me something that, well, let's see if it comes. And if it does, I'm definitely going to go get it checked out like that. But anyway, the total that day was I was right around $5,000. It wasn't 4 for 1 rock. No. So he spends $4K though. But then they're like he was saying the $56K. He also needs to take proper protocols and ways of trying to get his information instead of going on 8 sites and spewing crabs. It's supposed to be hate sites, but he actually doesn't go. See, this is funny too. He goes to their chats and he complains about what's happening, and they ban him. You know, they ban him. Then he goes and he talks about it at another chat, and it's suddenly a hate site. Isn't that? He tried to bring it up to them, and they banned him for it. So again, that is one of those. That's one of those gaslighting techniques too. Oh, he's dealing with the haters. Oh, okay, yeah, about that. Oh, by the way, I'm going to note this again today too, because there's been a few people write me about this. If for some reason that you cannot comment and you think something's happened to your account, you know, not that you are some horrible monster that has been banned for a right reason. You know, there have been a few people that have been there, but if you legitimately think, hey, there's a problem with my account here and I can't comment, I can't do anything on it, write me about it. We have found, I think we're all up to almost 10 accounts now. I can see if you've been banned or not. If you were banned, There was one person banned. I did talk to mods about that. And by the way, the mods are the loveliest people, you know. They were like, yeah, you know, maybe everybody deserves, well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Everybody deserves a second chance. Like the mods remembered this particular person, but they were like, yeah, but the rest of these people, when I've looked at it, I can tell if you've been banned or not. You know, it tells me when I look at your profile. And out of 10 accounts now, nine have not been. I toggled them, which means I block you, I unblock you. It may, I don't know if that unfollows the channel. I'm not sure what that does there, but I toggle it like that, and people have been able to comment again. So if you have run into something like that, let me know too. It makes me think about that. But anyway, let's just like him trying to say how much he sent Lisa. Well, actually, he didn't bring up how much he sent Lisa at the very beginning. He tried to contact her at the very beginning. See, I've been watching this from go because I knew when this popped up that this would become spun in some strange, interesting way to watch play out. And that's absolutely what happened. But he didn't bring that up at first. They were trying to say that he hadn't done all of this or all of that. And he brought up $56,000. He was like, hey, you know, I'd like to know if I give that much money to people and there's some criminal records involved. I'd like to know what's happening. So this there. Then they bring up again, PayPal, taxes, all of that. Yeah, you know, that's all of that. But they're also, look, check this out here. Again, they're like, oh, wait, I think I got a raider coming. This is a really good part, though. So I do want to hit this because this is wild. Because this is saying they want to keep the money. They're going to keep the money after. Like I've been telling you all. This just proves something. Hey, what's up? I heard the door open. What's up? What's up, little money? Little money? Little money? What's up?
You mean karate master?
Yo, you're a karate master? Yeah, I know. I saw you do karate. It was wild, man.
I miss karate.
I know.
I was just grumpy one time because I didn't get much sleep.
It's okay. You know, maybe we'll think about doing karate again, like one day. Maybe not that place though, somewhere else.
Like somewhere else for karate?
Yeah, that place was well. I'll tell a chat about that, but I want to. But anyway,
somewhere else there about karate. Like my first karate was
another
good.
karate place. Yeah,
my first karate place was actually good, but I got grumpy one time because I didn't get much sleep.
That happens to all of us, man.
Yeah, because I was trying to practice for karate and see. I was practicing.
Hey, we all have our off days, right?
Yeah, and I was
when you get grumpy, what do you afterwards when you calm down and stuff? You apologize, right? You're like, oh, sorry about that. And then if something bad happened, everybody talks about it, and that's that, right?
Yeah, I was just happy because I was seeing if what karate meals what we're going to do today. Right. If I was in sushi class, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. Well, here, I
like when we run in karate.
Yeah, I know when you run the circles, those are pretty fun.
Yeah.
You like running, I know.
But you help people when they fall. You remember?
Yeah, I've seen you help people. But hey, go have your free day.
But some people just get up by themselves sometimes, so I have to go and help them.
Yep, it was good of you to help too. Go enjoy your lazy day though, okay? Yeah, you be careful. Hey, love you. Close that door, okay? Close the door. There we go. All right, so she's so funny. Yeah, the karate place. The problem I had with it is, if you want to leave the karate place in their wonderful fine print, they put in clauses like they will charge you for 2 or 3 more months, I believe. And they're pretty nasty about that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, maybe another place, you know. Oh, because that's not the fun way to do things. But anyway. So they talk about the taxes stuff, but here's the thing again, where they do a project, they want to keep the money that they say was attributed. You can see this right here. Yeah. I'm not mentioning to people that he said, a couple of things, and it was all for one thing. Well, like, hello, the fence is done, the party's over. You know what I mean? The money spent all throughout that. So I've sent him an email saying he sent it to Lisa, never received it. Sent it to her, and there. Is this for the Christmas party, for the fence? This is for whatever you need. Any money that's left over, use it on the barn. Oh, wait. So he said use it on the barn? Huh. Again, so they got all that stuff. This is a wonderful admission right here, right? They get all this money. They say that, again, their numbers, there's only $18K left. $56,000 fucking dollars. They have a Christmas party and they put up a privacy fence. Even if if that guy's money alone had paid for it, there would be more than $18,000 left out of what happened. But they keep digging this hole. They keep talking about it and they keep insulting him. On top of that, one other thing too I want to bring up for today, and we'll hit super chats. Look at this. This is so funny. Oh my God. Check this out. This is on the transcript too. I need to really go through and mark everything I want to bring up. But I started through it. Usually I don't like going the day after and bringing up transcript because I like to be more in depth and mark things the way I want. But holy crap. Look at them. They're throwing a fit about just look. They're like, today you had Hipster, the horse face guy. He mentioned me, right? Look, they're throwing fits about him. There's Jay. There's Hipster, the horse face guy. I mean, they're talking about, look, I was irritated, whatever the word was, I was in a tizzy. It was like a panic attack. Oh, I was irritated. Because people are mocking me. They can't come up with their own content. Oh, mocking you is fun content. They're constantly coming up with mine. This is hilarious considering channels built on going after Jeremy Hale. But it seems like the other side, each of them is following my comment and commenting on it. Now it's not. If it's not my content, it's Stacy's. They're making fun of the songs. They're making fun of what we're selling. They're trashing it, actually, which is tortious interference. You moron. Making fun of what you sell is not tortious interference. Talking about your shit rocks, your Timo trash, that is not tortious interference. Tortious interference is the kind of bullshit. I like that you bring this up. It's the kind of bullshit that you guys did. You think this is bad. You complain about it, but you have reached out to people's advertisers. You've gone after the platforms that they sell on, the platforms where they link stuff and more, and you have tried to make sure that, like with Hales, he can't do anything. But you think people making fun of your cult songs and trashing the way that you sell and the trash that you sell, the peen rocks and more, that's somehow bad? Okay, that's interesting. This, in fact, what this says to me is that you understand that damage can be done to a business. But
You like it?
I've got someone running down the steps. Give me a second.
You like it?
Yeah, here we go. Let me see.
Do you like my kimchi like that?
Yeah, I see that.
You want to see the color?
Yeah, it's pretty. Here, take it upstairs. You're gonna lose that.
Only if I put on my lip gloss box, my.
All right, take it upstairs. Hey, close the door good though. Okay.
My lip gloss box?
Yeah.
What's it
What?
called? A poodle?
I don't remember. We'll have to. I can't remember. I don't remember. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll close the door. You can hear her all the way up the stairs. She's like, I got it. And so I was like, well, I'm going to stop that real quick. She's like, she has this thing where she slides on her butt down the steps. And it is the most amazing thing to watch. because there's like 13 steps when the first thing she said to the second thing, 13 steps. She'll sit on her butt and just go right down the steps. It is amazing to watch. She was showing me her lip gloss. That was so funny. But here, they're talking about tortious interference, which, like I said, is the biggest punchline of all. So then they bring up Just Jay. He mentions me, right? Now, what's really crazy is they go in and they're talking about the threats that were made toward Jay, and they pretend they don't know anything about them. Now, or rather, not Jay, but Miyagi. They pretend that they don't know anything about the threats whatsoever. And it's crazy because the mods, they actually, quote unquote, apologized, and then they blocked Jay off their channel because, nothing says I'm sorry like banning somebody from your chats. But yeah, they had a pretty awful threat toward Miyagi, which we talked about. It was saying that well, it was basically saying they wanted to do something like what happened to Charlie Kirk, and it was pretty awful. So they absolutely know that happened. They all do. They even mentioned it, but they complain. They keep going on about about it. Oh my God, he sounds so terrible. Oh my God, he sounds so awful. Look at that. That's Ritzel. His voice is so terrible. But I checked my email. I got all these screenshots. I went and looked. So I'm playing this guy. Yeah, he's doing stuff in the background, and he's like, "Are you kidding? Because this guy's nothing but a freaking clown." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit. He's a clown. No shit, you idiots." That's exactly. Then he comes over to see what, because he's showing clips from Stacy's lives, and when she was selling stuff and wins it, yeah, and he starts mocking every little thing, like just the stuff being sold and how much, and Flutter, and then Sarcasm. I don't even know what her name is, but I say it twice. So oh my God, it's so they're sitting there and they're going on and mocking, and then they got really irritated because they were showing Flutter's face, and I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. And it's like, Gabe is like, what the hell? He's a total clown. And then they pull up Rosie, and oh my God, I don't even know who the fuck all these people were. But they're oh my God, they're fucking bullies. They're monsters. Like this too. And they're like, oh my God. Yeah. So they start whining about it. And they're like I thought his voice was made up. No, that's not a made up voice. That's his voice. He's so worse than Tug. My God. Somebody that sounds like if emphysema had a body. if that word actually had a voice to go along with it, that's what I think with her. But my God, they're whining. I mean, look at all this time. They're like, oh my God, that's no Jimmy Kimmel. He's no Jimmy Kimmel. He's no Jimmy Fallon. Oh my God, that shit's not satire. That's malicious and fucking cruel. But if we really expect anything out from that guy who watches like people at a bar and calls it People Watch Friday, look how much they watch his show. Look how much they know about these guys. But I tried to listen to J-Hip once. He's worse than Tug. I'm sorry. He's worse than effing Tug. One sounds like Mr. Rogers. The other sounds like a troll under bitch. Oh, well, that's the other thing, too, because I'm like, oh, my God. I don't know who this Sarcasm person is, I know the name Rogue Mama. So they go off about Rogue Mama, Georgie, but then they deny again. So with the threats, I don't know where death threats the Miyagi came from, right? What the hell? I've never heard of that. Right. Sure you haven't. Yeah. Put those up. I can put them up for you again too. But yeah, when you folks are talking about doing the same thing again, happened with Kirk to Miyagi. Yeah, a lot of people saw that, and it was gross. It was gross, and your own mods brought it up. But look, they go into this conspiracy. Look how much time they spend, like butthurt about Jay. They talk about him. He was recruited by Megan to attack Volpe and Luthman. Then they whine about freaking Muppets and Megan, and they say that Jay was really for real upset because he wasn't credited for creating the Muppet thing. Oh my God. They spend so much time though, like throwing a fit about it. Again, that show last night was such a shit show. They start into it. Look, when I started here, 6 minutes, right? All this, and they keep going, but there's 20 minutes dedicated to just Jay. 20 minutes there whining about him. It's amazing stuff. Oh, let's do some super chats here. I need to, if I don't roll into super chats, I won't finish. I won't have time. You know me and my lack of expedience. So I share what's up. I see the 5 there. Thank you for that. There's not a statement on that, man. I appreciate you. You're awesome there. Thank you. 1 second. Oh, rearrange Mark too. I saw the comic thing. I think I appreciate y'all reminding me. I forgot about it. I'm sending that over to the dude that does shipping and everything. So yeah, I totally spaced that. Indiegogo, I saw that there was an attempted letter. They just got bought out by another place, and I'm not getting any of your letters through there. So people have to write me directly if there was something missed along the way. But that was one. I appreciate you mentioning it. I'll send it over to the dude. I wish I had those, the excess stock in my house. I would do them myself. It'd be so much simpler, but I'll do that over time. But like I said, I'll send that over to them. Let me write a note for it today. Because like I said, with everything going on, I spaced it. Where's my note? All right. There we go. I made a note for it. I'll send it over to them. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Carol, thank you for the super chat there too. Appreciate that. That doesn't have a statement, but it is its statement. Thank you. Thank you for backing the channel and for being here. Max Lab, thank you, brother. Appreciate you too, man. Good to see you as always too, my friend. Jane, thanks for the 9 months. 9 months. 9 months indeed. Thank you. Good to be here. Well, it's good to have you here. And I thank you for that. A good stream. Yeah, it's been a nice one. Remember tonight, Hales goes live. It should be fun and spicy. You know what I always love to? If you think Jay makes these people mad, oh my God. Jeremy he gets them into a tizzy. And it's so funny. Syndicate Chief, thanks for doing my favorite intro. Jay at their weakness. Mockery. Indeed. I love that Jay, like I said, what do y'all think? Friday, how's that sound? I got to run it by him. What do y'all think about Jay being on as a guest? I have not had Jay on in a hot minute. I think that would be funny. And I think it would be really fun to run his subscriber numbers above theirs this week. Don't you think that would be a lot of fun? He's only a few hundred off. So I think that would be a lot of fun. We could talk about it. Maybe he could talk about how he's going to create a business selling rocks. I'm not sure. God knows what he might say. Oh my God. I love it. If you'd like to buy a total new moon rock, ShamWow. ShamWow. Rick, what's up? Thanks for the 13 months, my friend. Do not. Indeed. Thank you. Michelle, thanks for the 2. Paying my lurking tax. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's great to see you. Nana, what's up? I like that avatar, by the way. It's awesome. Thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you for that, too. It's awesome. I love those. Appreciate you. Dwayne, thanks for the 7 months there. Tongue on. Don't need to go. He's got bugging. Like, that's true, too. Yeah, that is. What's funny, because Megan will set one every now and then if there's something specific, going on. Usually if that happens, by the way, that means there's something that doesn't always, we'll talk about stuff like going on in life and whatever, but there may be some reason that, is not listed as well. But typically we don't, people back our shows and we appreciate that. People know that we do that. If they enjoy it, lay back. And I can't imagine sitting there for an hour and a half and being like, I mean, again, you can mention, but the way they did it was just funny. Oh, they were so butthurt. I loved it. Yeah, but you're right, Dwayne, for sure. Jada, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Jada. I appreciate that. Like I said, I love the Muppets, man. They look just so happy. Hazel, what's up? Thanks for the 5 there. And just to annoy him, breadstick and candy money. Thank you for that. That is awesome. Oh, man, I wonder. Let me see. I'm going to try something while we're talking. I'm going to put in to picks first. I'm going to see if that train ticket, I want to see if the train will animate on it, Give me 1 second. Make the train on the ticket look like it's moving. Just try it simple and see what it does while we're talking. Thank you. Thanks for the 20 there. I'm entertained. Are you sure about that? Are you? Are you not entertained? Indeed. Indeed. I'm entertained too. I love it. Rickles, thanks for the 5. Negotiations have been entered to send a mission to collect more moon rocks. So who should we send? Yes. Should we send who should make contact first with extraterrestrial life? Just Jay. I think he would be the perfect person if we really send somebody. Oh, that's cool. That one came out really good, actually. Check that out. I'm going to download it. Give me 1 minute. I'm downloading this picture here. The little, oh man, that really came out really good. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put it on the media board here. Just give me a minute. I like so many of the pictures that we make. This one actually looks pretty good though. I'm uploading. It'll take just a second. I'll show it to you. It'll put it right across the screen here. Check this out. Here's that ticket. That looks good there. It looks really good. I like that. Thank you, Rickles. Love it. Rick, thanks for the 2. Tug is our protector. Maybe we could get a live singing of that. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could get Jay to really sing that too? That'd be amazing. What's funny? These little shitty channels, they get brought up by, I'm talking about the ecosystem folks, right? These little shitty, horrible channels like the mod channel, they get brought up by channels with hundreds of thousands of people. And instead of embracing it, like making some more cult songs or whatever, they sit around and whine. They're not selling their stupid ass rocks. They sit around for 12 hours trying to hawk wares, and it barely works. They sell them to each other, but they don't have anybody. And when they have the opportunity, again, just like Lynette Preston, when they have the opportunity to have eyes on something, they just go off the rails, and it's amazing. Charlotte, thank you for the super chat there. Hey, Doug. Yeah, that's what is it? Kroner? I can't remember what the freaking money's called. The DKK. Thank you. I appreciate that. All the way from Denmark. Well, that's awesome. Love returned from Tennessee, way out here in the boons. Uncle Frederick. What's up? Thank you for the super chat. Emergency fund for candy and such. Indeed. I've been my oldest, it's funny. I don't know what she's saving up for, but this sucked too. Okay, so she had saved up some money. Now, luckily, she went through PayPal and did this. So there was a site though that she bought. She wanted a figure. It's Moreau from Resident Evil: The Village. She talked about it on another live stream, how she was getting that right. Well, the site she tried to buy it from, they weren't a fraud necessarily, but it was a business that just went out of business. So they did not deliver a product. So I was like, oh, that's great. You wait for weeks, it doesn't show up. Now we're going to have to go through the refund thing on it. And she was like, I ordered that for my birthday. I was like, ah. So I'm going to try to find a replacement for that before it gets to the birthday time. Like, man, doesn't that figure? That's one thing I hate about e-commerce. E-commerce, it used to be, you didn't necessarily, you couldn't find things sometimes. I wish we had both. I wish we had real life items. I wish my kids could see Toys R Us. Like my littlest one. And imagine going into a toy store, like a KB Toys, like when I was younger. Charlie, thanks for the 5 there. Love the earlier start. Not lurking today. This is for your soon-to-be 12-year-old. Well, thank you. That is awesome there. Yeah, now, earlier start, typically, one of the reasons we go at the specific time at night is aligning mine and Megan's our times. And also, going early, one day a week, I'll do that, and I'll let people know that. Now, I'm not saying I never would, but the only thing, like there's a lot of other channels, like for example, if I went at noon, I'd overrun like Mr. Coop and Georgia. I try not to overrun other channels as they're growing too, but I do know that our time zones, it's late for some people too, and I appreciate you all being here. If it's really late too, and you're, you end up watching it later on, I understand that as well. But I thank you for being here, Charlie. Appreciate you. Emmy, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. 10 gifted memberships. I love it. Thank you, Emmy. Love it. And thank you, too. I appreciate you. Cynic, what's up? Thanks for the 2. MG Law gets more Super Jets playing. Yeah, more games than 2L. Yes, they would actually do, if they could find something else to get into, but no. Oh my God. Is that what that's supposed to be? Raya? So the acronym SLOAT is supposed to be stupidest lawyer of all time. Why can't they just make something that just doesn't sound stupid? Like Polymop and Sloat. I mean, oh Lord. I wonder, Bruce probably sits around. He's like, I'm the most creative person ever. Oh my God, that's so sad, man. Paisley Chicken, thanks to the 2. Just to tick off the ecosystem, Bugs Candy Fun. Well, thank you on both accounts, Paisley. Paisley Chicken. I like that name, by the way. That's fun. You need an avatar, Paisley Chicken. You need an awesome avatar. I wonder, give me a second. I wonder what, let's see. Make me a fun avatar picture. No, wait, make me a fun avatar picture of cartoon chicken called Paisley Chicken. I just want to see what it'll create. I want to see what random thing comes out of this. Dwayne, what's up, Dwayne? How you doing, brother? Bug Candy Money. Thank you, Dwayne. She appreciated that too, brother. I appreciate you. Did you appreciate when we go to that candy store? Oh my God. You've never seen somebody take candy. She shops candy like it's stock market. I mean, really, like she's looking at her. She'll take out candy. It's so cute to watch her do her stuff. She'll lay out her candy, her lip gloss. Oh, it's very cute to watch her. but it's like she's laying out her portfolio. Fallen Hero dropped a super sticker, man, and a gifted membership too, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And like I said, I appreciate you always here. Good folks, man. By the way, too, I'm going to do next week, I'm going to do something. I've seen a couple of people write about Muppets. So what I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to do a Muppet run, okay? Because it's harder to make them with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the only one that makes them well. There's other places, but they look awful from other places. They just do a terrible job. Even the Muppet Maker doesn't look that great sometimes, but ChatGPT does. But it's been very finicky about real people, you know, even if you say that's not a real person or whatever. So next week, though, I'm going to do a Muppet run yet again. So if you want a Muppet, you haven't had a Muppet avatar and you want one, send me a picture. If you've sent one in the last few weeks and for some reason I missed you, remember I've gotten a lot of them over time, but I'm going to do a bunch more. Send one, send one. By the way, I get some people that send a bunch. Yeah, I will do one for you. Just to know. Not to be mean, it's just to get so many. Paisley chicken. That looks like a fried chicken. It's so funny. I love it though. I like your name. I really do. Every time I see it, it sticks with me. Jane Chu, thanks for the 10 there. And again, you didn't attach your statement, but you did. You made a statement. The statement is in backing. Thank you. Cats, thank you for the super chat there. Greeting from Sweden. Well, hey, greeting returned. And thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love how worldwide we are too. That says something. It says so much. Brenda, thanks for that. I have a theory that Bruce has never been in the U.S. So that's why he never show up for anything. I think he does everything over the internet. He's last spotted in person. Well, for a while, I mean, in his article, he talked about how he set up a business abroad. Now, I don't know, again, if he is here or not, but he did in that one article talk about setting up and starting over. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that he is or isn't, but that article did bring that up. I think that's part of the Larry, the whole thing in that. And I think that article will come into play big time in that litigation. Shellbell, thanks for the, sorry about that. Thanks for the 5. So you don't wear jewelry made of stones or minerals. You didn't study geology. Items are fake just because you dislike the seller. No, I look at what the people that sell this stuff actually, I look at them and I know that they're, the majority of them are nasty, grifting pieces of shit. They're awful people. And when they defrauded somebody out of around $100,000, I'm going to say that it's not a far stretch to say that they're selling them, that they're not being honest about other things. I think that would not be a stretch, But like I said, I think the real way to find out, and I have seen one of the items that's come in from somebody. Somebody was sent a piece of quote unquote tiger eye. And it looked like the thing they were sent was a little round marble. And this little round marble, it to say that it is a synthetic and not real tiger eye is definitely it is definitely an understatement. Definitely. And as far as rocks and stones, oh man, I mean, we go out and we collect all kinds of stuff. Tennessee is a hotbed for stuff, like we Tennessee is primarily limestone around here anyway. So when you go out, you learn a lot about caves and really just geology just from living here. That's one of the things, like one of the questions you run into is why are so many properties undermined from with caves? Why is there so much erosion? And that's you get into some pretty interesting stuff. And then fossils, we get a lot of fossils just around easily. easily found. We found arrowheads and all types of other stuff. So yeah, rock hunting. And one of the things that you get to the point that you notice is you look at people's garbage stuff, and you can tell some of these people are dishonest folks. Now, which ones? I'm not saying. I'm just saying, if they again take 100 grand from other people, I have a problem with believing that they do anything. And their audiences don't seem very keen on buying a lot of their wares either. I can go out in my yard though and find you a nice shiny rock and tell you it's worth something. But one of the problems too that they've run into is, again, they've had a lot of not happy customers. Either not getting items. There's been a lot of complaints about that. Or, some of the items they get, they're not happy about those either. When they get them, you should look at some of the pictures that come in with them. But I mean, if you want to buy and check them out, hey, pick up a few. Like, buy you a spread of them. We'll take them down to a university. Check them out. It'd be fun times. You can have a whole layout of it, But again, you could find all kinds of crap in your yard. And Just Jay, with this stuff too, the guy they complain about with it, Just Jay's hilarious about it because he's actually a fan of these people. He likes the mod show, and the mods, they don't like the fact that he talked about their shows, and it blows my mind. They actually, again, they have somebody that finally talks about it. They pull over 30 people watching. And, I mean, who are you selling rights? Here becomes the question, too. Who do you think the target audience for the sales are? Because it's become this weird circle jerk of, if a handful of people don't buy it, then it goes back and forth between, I saw mods ending up buying, from 2L, and there were the mods on the show. Now, if that happens once or twice, okay, but it seemed like a method to keep them from being embarrassed. And it's kind of embarrassing on its own. But I would never trust these people. I would not trust them at all with sending out something appropriate. And again, their customers are the people complaining. The guy who spent thousands of dollars, he's one of them complaining. I'd say he'd be a big one. But George, thanks for the 5. I'm here lurking. Well, lurk away, George, and I appreciate you, brother. Andre, thanks for the 2. Just to piss off the haters. Well, it seems to work. It seems to work a lot. Thank you. Rogue Mama, thanks for 5. Hey, Rogue Mama, one of the ladies of the hour. Thanks for the 5 there. Just printed 4 short scripts and a press release. Thanks to the haters. Them saying it's only parody. If it's funny, was hilarious. Yeah. They were like, it has to be funny. Otherwise, it's not parody, it's hate. I was like, well, that's funny because they're not very well most of the time. Rhea Wright, thanks for the 2. Have a drinking game. Take a shot for every lie. Oh, no, that's a trip to the hospital is what that is, or worse. Joan, thanks for the $10 super sticker. Thank you, Joan. I love those. So thank you. I get to go back and check that out after this. Hey, Adair, that's great, man. In 10 weeks, I'm a bachelor's. I get my lazy Sunday back. My final classes are done. That's awesome. Hey, congrats on that, too. It feels so good with completion of those. I remember when I had I went with the 2-year, then 4-year, and then went master's, but I started with the 2. And I remember, finally knocking down some of the skulls, and it feels so good. So props to you too. That is awesome, man. For real. Take a moment to just to revel in that because it feels good. It does. Natalie, thank you for the $20 super sticker as well. Thank you, Natalie. That is awesome too. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Andre, thanks for that too there. 19 videos of songs and letters I wrote. So indeed. Indeed. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be great. Like Cinnamon Cheese said here too. Please sue for the cult songs too, Al. Yes, please sue. I'll send it to Kino Casino, Mr. Maker, myself, and then nobody will be able to stop the deluge of chaos. I know. God, if they sued over that, I would die. That would be so funny. You know, the other thing, I'm just thinking about this. So the sales thing, you know, the point in all of that is, you know, they can sell whatever they want, but they call laughing about the quality or lack thereof, or the way that they come across. They say that, again, that's tortious interference. So they have a problem with business being, they say, interfered with. I would not say laughing at a person online is interfering in any way, but they didn't have a problem going after, again, platforms and everything else. I've got a Raider again. What's up, kiddo?
What's up?
Hey.
Did you hear me come down?
I did. I heard you that time. The last time I didn't as well. If you wouldn't have said something at the top of the stairs before that, I wouldn't have heard you because you were so fast sliding down those steps last time. You know. But hey.
I went quietly and slowly because you didn't hear me this time.
Yeah, but hey, go upstairs for a little bit because I got to finish these super chats. I'm on a time limit today. Okay. Yeah, love you, baby. Hey, Katie, the cat lady. Thanks for the 2. Don't forget building a mosque. Wait, were they building a mosque? Is that what? I don't remember what that's about there. I don't remember them saying they were going to build one. Maybe I don't know what that was. I'm just imagining them thinking about building a mosque. Who's you down under? Thank you for the 5 there. I'm late, but catching up. Open up YouTube. Watch you, the opening ad. Have you lost all your teeth? I kid you not. Hilarious. That is something. That is, you know. And again, it's not with these people. I want people to understand something too. I don't care if you're fat, toothless, you know, anything. You are totally welcome here. And the thing is, like, these people, they respond to middle school, like, just insult, like, oh, you're fat, you know, or whatever. And these are terrible freaking people. So I always think it's funny, like, how they respond. Again, you know, they business interfere and do all of this. But again, we saw a guy sue partially because someone called him Deuce. You know, the same guy that calls another guy fathead. So just amazing stuff. Becky, thanks for the 5 months. Love being a member. Well, I love having you here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Becky, also different Becky. Thank you for the 2 there. Hop on the money train. Yes, suing the peace train. I said suing. Sung the peace train. Suing. You're sued, peace train. Oh, that was a funny one to mess up. That is good. Rusty, thanks for the 5. Why are you guys obsessed with sanctions? And the quote here, LOL, the people who think we're a bunch of criminal deadbeats who don't pay their bills now want more money. Indeed. That's a good answer. That is a good answer. Tracy, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate you there. Thank you very much. AKA the cat lady, thanks for the 5. You could sell tickets, a fundraiser. Yeah, donate it to a real tortoise rescue like Garden State Tortoise. Indeed. You know, all kinds of good things you could do with stuff like that. That'd be interesting to look at. Liz, what's up, Liz? How you doing? Thanks for the 7 months there. Oh, a member chat. Can't afford a cash ticket train. Get a gravy one. Yeah, that's right. Get on that gravy. Remember the groovy cash train? Remember all those. They were funny. Martin, thanks for the 2 there. This is for my money train ticket. That's right. Get on that money train, baby. Get in there. I love it. Buck Naked, thanks for the 2. They tried a money train and built a snow piercer. Oh no, that's money. Oh, that's too good. Yep. Well, 1 train rider ticket, please, Tug. Yep. Get in there. Whoop, whoop. Get in. Let's go. I love it. Aunt Joe, thanks for the 10 there. Pay my lurker tag. Well, thank you, Aunt Joe, as well. Thank you, all of you, by the way, again, being here. It's amazing. I appreciate you. I'm moving a little faster because, like I said, I know that Hale starts in about 28 minutes, and you know me, I'm not very good at being expedient with this stuff at all. So, Liz, thanks for the $5.50. UK costs $151 in fees on GoFundMe. 50 converts to $67, right? That was me on Nick Star Live for Tim's fam, depending on how the donation is gifted. Yeah, there's a max out too. And I don't know what the max out number is for the amount when you send it. I can't remember. I need to call again. I want to hammer that down for myself, see exactly what that max out number is. Because some of the numbers they show, it gets me wondering about that. It's not like they're charging you 3% off of sending $10,000. They have a cap out. So, that's just not correct either. Just Jen, thank you for the super sticker there. Thank you, Just Jen. That is awesome again. I appreciate that because the kids, I love going through them. And the littlest one, she loves seeing those. So I like to go through after the show and show them to her. Moody Nana, thanks for thanks for the work you put into this shit show. Hey, I love it, and I appreciate you all for being here. It's a lot of fun to talk about the stupid people, especially when they get really upset about something. Here's your daddy. Thanks for the 2. Next, they'll sell kidney stones as diamonds. Indeed. Oh my God, that would be so awful. Calcium. Here, we're selling pure calcium. No, gross, no. Zinni, thanks for the 2 there. Miyagi dropped a Temu versus Scammers video a bit ago. That'll be fun, like to go back and to check out too. I think I can't remember the person that said was asking about the stuff being sold. I wonder what somebody that had a really good eye for that kind of stuff, what they would say actually about that. I wonder if I could look somebody up on YouTube. I bet I know somebody that has the proper credentialing in there and be like, hey, what do you think about this item or that item? Like just from looking at it. Like, what do you think about the quality and pricing? A cynic, thanks for the fun there. If you give Bug a hug, she's going to want some candy to go with it. That's true. If you give her some candy, she's going to want lip gloss. That's true. You know what's great about her? She's the happiest kid I know. Like, when she gets tired, she gets cranky every now and then. But outside that, she is never in a bad mood. Ever. And it's amazing. Like, it is. And it's funny, too. Like, most kids, if you take them to the store, they'll buy, just because they want to buy. Like they may not be interested in something, but they'll buy it anyway. If you're like, hey, I'll get you a toy. Not her. Like, you take her and she's not, she'll have like a specific thing in mind. And that's it. That's it on the day. So it's really, it's so funny to watch her. She's, like I said, she's always in a good mood. She's so fun. Liz, thanks for the 2. Did Bo organize for a YouTube demo? That would be, that would be fun for her to set up and do everything. I'm telling you, the oldest, she really wants to get into the YouTube. Again, she's way too young for that, but I keep telling her, you'll have an audience already built. That'll be good, and she's been looking at video, how to edit and stuff. I'm like, man, you're better at this than me. I've ever was. Blake, thanks for the 4 months. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for a wonderful stream, wonderful community build. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. And I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you're part of it. Thank you. Angela Klein. What's up, Angela? Thank you for that super sticker again. Much appreciated. Because I can't say that enough. I know these and memberships, I cannot say enough. Like I appreciate them for different reasons, but I very much appreciate them. Cynic, thanks for the 5 there. Money for Lugs cartel essentials, whatever she wants, and to avoid the meat grinder. Indeed, her little cartel thing was funny. You know, we finished up, by the way. We were playing Resident Evil Village, so we just beat that. And I think I'm going to go back to 7. I haven't played Biohazard in a long time. Yeah, it was funny. So she, when I play, usually I control. You know, and she navigates. And she likes it that way. She does not like, she likes to play sometimes, but with horror games, she's like, ah. So earlier today, though, I gave her the controller, and there's this part where you have these like hybridized, they're people that have been experimented with. So they, you know, like I got they remind me of Borg a little bit. If you ever watch Star Trek, you know, they have technological add-ons. They're like a chainsaw arm and stuff. Well, I gave her the controller to play, and it was so funny. She gets playing. She has to walk past one of these things. It's sitting in a chair. You know, it's the first time they pop up, and it's not on her doing anything. So she walks in, she's doing stuff, and then she walks back out, and she's controlling. And this thing pops up, and when it does, you know, she fires at it a couple of times, and it goes bad. You know, because it's a horror game. They always go bad, you know, at first when they introduce something, or it's a bullet sponge. She starts screaming. Afterwards, she was like, that was so much fun. But it was funny to listen to her. You would think, God, if I heard her like that, I would think she's being attacked by a person. But she's like, and afterwards, you know, it did all that panic sound. But then afterwards, she's like, that was so much fun. It was so funny. Cynic thanks for the 2. Of all their filings, yes, Lips is the stupidest lawyer. Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. Like out of all the lawyers, again, if I'm going from a scale of 0 to I would say that, God, this is so sad to say. Bruce is probably the most competent out of their bunch. And that, I mean, that's really sad to say. You have Lips right on the bottom. I can't separate her and hubby. You know, they're intertwined. So I'm just considering them one person. But yeah, she's probably the bottom rung. And then Paint Chips is right there too. Because God, Paint Chips says a lot and types a lot of words and pretends that means something. You know, just because you file 33 pages doesn't mean you're good at what you do, you know, because you can be verbose, you can say a lot, but that doesn't mean you say anything at all. Juliet, hey Juliet, how you doing? I like your avatar there. Looking at, I always like seeing people in their avatars. That's cute. Thank you for the super chat there. Just a second, I gotta roll my stuff back up. I looked at, I closed my thing on accident because I was looking at I like looking at everybody's avatars to see who they are, and it closed my super chat window. There we go. There's something for the little ones. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Mama Bear, thanks for the fun there. We're all busting a gun when your channel didn't properly turn off after 2 hours of silence. You still at 100 more. Yeah, that was weird. So I forgot to mention that. Yeah. So for some reason, my channel said it was still on, but there was nothing there. And if you look at the live stream, it's off. So it said I was still live. But the last live stream for that day, if you look at it, there were 2 hours, and then it finally just went, you know, I got a message, and maybe Javen, it was like, yo, you're still live. And I went and looked, and I was like, damn it, it's still sitting like that. But it sat there for a while, and then it went off. I didn't correct anything. It just said I was live for 2 extra hours. But if you look at my live stream, it didn't add on the 2 extra hours. It just, my channel said I was live for 2 more hours, which was very bizarre. But yeah, that is funny. So sitting there with nothing happening and people thinking, you know, it allowing people to sit there and talk or whatever, I still had more viewers than that they did for that time. It's so sad. Silence is better. Sassy, thanks for the 5. Russell Stover's mishap. Bloopers. That's right. Bloopers. Thank you. I appreciate that. I missed them being wings up territory. Yeah. Is there a, there's a few in Tennessee. There's one in God, it's really close to here. I can't remember if that's Manchester, Tennessee. There's one in Cookeville, or there was. I'd have to check and see if that one's still there. But there is definitely one in, I think it's Manchester, Tennessee. Like I said, it's not that far from us. They have good candy, you know, for cheap. But I always like getting their candy bars, you know, because you can get one of their candy bars when they put them on clearance, especially like after a holiday, you can for like 80 cents, you know, and it's a Russell Stover candy versus what candy bars cost now, which is insane. But we actually, in Cookeville, in the middle of town, if you ever go to Tennessee, they have an ice cream place. I used to really like the Russell Stover ice cream place because they're good, but they have a place in Cookeville. If you're ever in that area, you hit me up. I'll tell you what the place is. I think it's called the Creamery, but they have they make their own ice cream. They have an ice cream called it's like Mexican chocolate. It's a chocolate with like a little hint of spice to it. Oh God, it's so good. It's addictive, man. But yeah, we have we still have Russell Stovers around, the outletters. I love those things. Anders, thanks for the 5. Love your show. You're so entertaining. Just wish you cough more. I know. That's the one thing I can't manage. I can't make it like those people that are really good at it, you know? Thunderbird Woman, thanks for the 2. Let's hear more Lisa Lee and Cult Jam. I know, man. If they would make more of those, they really need to make some more cult hits, you know? That's what I keep saying. Like, I loved that freaking song. They say I'm making fun of them, but I'm telling you, I loved it. I shouted that song out more. I did more for their channels than they have done, I have to say. So if they feel bad about that, I don't know what to tell them. I mean, like I said, I thought I was doing the Lord's work for them, though. I'm setting up my redirect here real quick. Give me 1 minute. I was making sure it's set. We're rolling down to that 15 minutes. We'll be done in time, by the way. But let's see. Eshan, thanks for the 10 there. If I send you some photographs, would you use them as background for chat? Like, it's so boring. If not, I won't get. Well, some of the background. So it's not really. I understand what you're saying too. It's actually a good point with the backgrounds. Like, I can do overlays sometimes, like these. Like, I can put in an overlay, right? And the overlay will stay. It's not bad. But with backgrounds, since I use a picture and I don't use an actual background, the things they mess up. Like right now I have a background on. I just turned it on, right? And you can't see it. Okay. Like if I let's see. You can see it behind there. But when I'm broadcasting on my own, yeah, this see, you brought up a good point with this, and I'm glad we get to like note this. If I bring up like a picture or something, you'll see it brought up. But when I'm speaking alone, the only thing that works is an overlay. So if you have like a transparency with something cool, like you can see the little tendrils there, then that works for the channel. But just a picture in the background won't show up. It'll be it'll look like I don't have anything. See, like we had some from our first comic. Check these out. Like I like these add-ons. This is where our first one. This is for myself and my daughter, my oldest now. The youngest is part of it. But look, like for story time back in the day when the oldest would tell stories, like it's still in here. Isn't that cute? I've never wanted to remove it. We also had like the overlay, like Umbrella Live, but Yeah, it just doesn't show backgrounds. It's unfortunate. It is. It'll do it with if you're using a real picture, but if you're using a static image, it doesn't show up. Suzanne, thanks for the 10 there. I'm all about Coop's crazy crystals. Everyone wants one. You can carry them around anywhere. Even accepted on any and all airlines. Oh man, see, there you go. Coop's crazy crystals. I'm gonna have fun, like setting up a fake crystal place for myself. Just something to bark about. Thanks for the tip. Thanks for making my drive fun. Hey, thanks for being here, and thank you for. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you. I always love your name too. It's beautiful. I love it. Stargasm. Thanks for the 10 there. My backyard rock garden is where the wildlife and I enjoy prayer. This loser will post a pic on a community page on my rocks. And jewelry stays outside. No dust collectors for me. Choo choo. Yeah, I found some, like I did find. So I actually have found meteorites. We found one that, guys, probably worth something. But you find all kinds of weird things out here in the sticks, in the nothing. But I love them. I bring in some, but yeah, I'll stack them out. I had a friend that used to go out and pick up arrowheads. Did it since he was a little kid. He was a Vietnam vet, right? I went over and his parents had passed away, and I was helping him clean out the place. But he'd been collecting arrowheads. He'd lived with them for the longest time, and he'd go over on weekends and stuff, search. And he had the same room, and he'd throw arrowheads out the window. He'd just throw the ones, unless they were perfect, he'd throw the ones that, again, had been shipped off or whatever, throw them out his window. And I went over, and since he had been doing that since he was a little kid, he'd been doing it for decades, outside of his window, no kidding, he had about 4 feet of arrowheads just stacked up. It was the most amazing thing. It was so crazy. I love it though, Stargasm. You made them very mad. You, Rogue Mama, freaking Rosalind, you all, oh God, y'all make them mad. Cynic Chief, thanks for the 5. I wish we had an actual Florida lawyer. Yeah, for real. Not a doubt. A lawyer who can comment on the claim suits. I wish Local Mindset or Steve Gosney at the time. Yeah, I would like some of the stuff. Like their particulars, especially when we get into certain specifics. I do ask about some of them though. I do hit up lawyers. I have about 3 choice lawyers that I ask about stuff because I want to know the particulars before. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Each state, especially, they have so much crazy, and it's nice to have someone to pull through it. There you go. Something to bark about. Thanks to Tug is our conductor. That's the perfect song. I love it. I absolutely love it. Debbie, thanks for the $10 super sticker. Appreciate that, Debbie. Thank you very much. Can't say that enough. I do. I appreciate you guys. Something to bark about. Thanks, dude. I need a Chihuahua Muppet. Send me a picture of one of your dogs. That's the easiest thing to make. I'll make you a freaking animal Muppet. That is awesome. You got an animal that you want one of? Mail it to me at my email for the channel. I will make you an animal. That is easy. Like there's nothing that that causes a problem. If you have a pet, that is the simplest thing to do. Humans, again, ChatGPT is particular and weird about that, but with animals, man, there is no problem whatsoever. So if you got an animal, you want me to make one for you, that I can do that in a heartbeat, no problem whatsoever. In a second. Oh, what's up? Hey, bruh, I sent 25 through Cash App. Thank you for that. That's going to go into, that is going to go into probably audiobook, I'm sure. I'm feeling a little frisky on one. I've been wanting to go over, God, what was that book called? I know what time it is, by the way. A couple of people were like, 9 minutes. Yeah, I know. I'm keeping up with it. I like cutting it really short to the, that way you just switch over. I think that's nice. Give you a few minutes to get over there and situated and just block up the entertainment. But I was thinking about, I read a book a long time ago called Clickers. It was from J.F. Gonzalez, I think his name is. And it's about these like lobster-like creatures that attack this town. They come out. I was thinking about going back. It had a few sequels too. I think I want to read that for some reason. So I'll probably pick it up, and I'm not sure what else. I hope they have a good part. I just finished up. I don't know if you ever saw this series Generation Kill. It's about the Gulf War. It's about a team, a journalist from Rolling Stone attached to the Marines that were part of spearheaded the invasion there. And they made a show out of it. And the show actually is very good based on the book. They did a good job, but there's a lot of other stuff in there too. So I've been going through that. I got in the mood to go through it. That's very good. Patrick, thanks for the 14 months. Paint chips and entertainment consists of, oh, you want to sue me? You just wait. I'm going to tell my daddy. We're going to be in so much trouble. That's right. Wipe that smirk off your face. Yeah, he making videos too. Oh my God, this person is an alligator effer. Really? That's your that's your comeback for a loss. Okay. Great job. Great job. That's absolutely amazing. I've never seen anyone defend themselves so well. So weird. All right. I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I think we're good now. So let me see. Check if anything I missed. Let's see. I'm reading something real quick. I want to check against something here. Let's see. What you're missing. No, okay. Hey, Buck Naked. I saw your thing you're mentioning, and no, the date though is 10. So a few people have written me stuff like this, and the conversion for UK is odd to look at in the US, but the date that's missing off of their donations is it's 10/16, so it's an October 16th. So it's missing. If you go from that screenshot, it should be the third one down, but they have a 10/20. They have a 9/27 and a 10/20, but no 10/16. So it's good, and I'm glad people have mentioned stuff like that, because if I miss something, I miss it. What's up, kiddo?
What's that?
What's up? Well, hey, I'm fixing to tell people bye.
Okay.
You wanna help me tell them bye?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. You been good today, too?
Yeah.
You are. Okay. Well, you wanna
Play some bowling game after this?
No, yeah, we can play it. You want to play Enter the Gungeon? Is that what you want to play?
Yeah, but I hope we don't get the bullet boss. The bullet boss is the worst.
Oh yeah, I don't like him either. Well, we're going to send people over to another channel. You want to help me tell them when they click over to go over to the other channel?
What is it?
It's called well, this isn't a bad word. This is their name, but it's called What the Hales.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds like a good name, but at least it's not that one.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a bad word though, because you can't say.
The
Yeah, because you can't say the bad word Hale, right? But that's not the bad word. It's
it's like an M, like this out, like an L.
All right.
Like A, B, C, D, H, I, K. You remember like the L now?
Okay. Yeah, I think you missed a few, but yeah. So you want to tell me today? Go over and watch them.
What?
And say thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. They're called What the Hales.
What? Go to What the Hales.
Thank you. Bye. See
Bye.
you tomorrow.